Listen to me, 2025 is not the year to keep wasting energy on everybody else. This is not the year to scroll through your phone wondering what they're doing, who they're with, what they're posting. This is the year you lock in on Bayou, because the truth is, the more you keep watching them, the less you're working on yourself. And if you don't learn how to stay silent and focused, you'll miss the blessing that was designed for your life. See, some of you talk too much. You tell people your dreams, your goals, your next move. And every time you open your mouth, you give somebody else the chance to plant doubt in your heart. Stop announcing it, stop explaining it, stop begging people to believe in it. Let your results do the talking. Silence is powerful when it's filled with action. 2025 is the year you wake up early, grind hard, and don't post about it. It's the year you study in the dark, train when nobody's watching, but when nobody's clapping. Because the truth is, you don't need applause, you need progress. You don't need approval, you need growth. You don't need validation, you need discipline. Here are 6 key points pulled straight from the heart of that speech. Efosomio Arslan Stella, a 2025. Stop watching others and start working on yourself, comparing, scrawling, and worrying about others takes away the energy you need for your own growth. Silence protects your vision. The less you share your goals, the less room there is for negativity, doubt, or distractions from others. Results speak louder than words. You don't need to announce your every move. Your discipline and outcomes will prove your commitment. Invest in unseen preparation. Growth happens in the dark, studying, training, and grinding when no one is watching or applauding. Separate from the noise while others are gossiping, wasting time, or seeking validation, focus on building your own legacy. Consistency creates transformation. If you stay silent, stay disciplined, and stay locked in, your progress will shock everyone by the end of the year. Stop watching others and start working on yourself. That's the message you need to grab hold of right now. Too many people are living their lives through the lens of other people's success stories, scrolling through social media, comparing, measuring, and wondering why their own life doesn't look the same. But here's the truth. Every second you spend looking at someone else's journey is a second stolen from your own. You can't build your dream while watching somebody else build theirs. You can't climb your mountain if your eyes are always locked on someone else's peak. The problem isn't that you don't have potential. The problem is you're leaking focus. Think about how much energy you've wasted this year looking at what somebody else has, what they're doing, how far ahead they are. Every like, every comment, every moment spent comparing could have been invested in building your skill set, improving your health, or strengthening your discipline. You don't lose because you're not talented enough. You lose because you keep feeding your distractions instead of feeding your purpose. You keep studying their highlight reel instead of grinding on your own raw footage. There's nothing wrong with being inspired by others, but you cross the line when you let their journey paralyze you. Inspiration should spark action, not envy. Their success is not your finish line. Their achievements don't mean you're behind. The only person you should be competing with is the person in the mirror. Ask yourself every day, am I a little better than I was yesterday? That's the only scoreboard that matters. That's how growth is measured, not by looking left and right, but by pushing forward step after step. And here's the danger of watching others too closely. You start to lose your identity. You forget who you are, what you want, what you're capable of, because you're too busy chasing someone else's definition of success. You weren't created to copy. You were created to create. You weren't built to imitate. You were built to innovate. But that can't happen if your mind is constantly distracted by what everybody else is doing. If you want 2025 to be different, you've got to make a decision. Turn your focus inward. Stop trying to keep up with them. Stop comparing your day 1 to their year 10. Stop giving energy to people who aren't giving you anything back. Your future is waiting on you to do the work, not on them to slow down. The moment you shift all that wasted focus back onto yourself, your life begins to change. Every hour, every ounce of energy, every late night, every early morning, you start pouring into your dream, your vision, your grind. That's when things move. That's when growth, that's when momentum builds. When you stop watching others and start working on yourself, you discover just how powerful you really are. And the world won't just see the difference. They'll feel it. Silence protects your vision. Too often we sabotage ourselves not because we can't do the work, but because we talk too much about the work we're planning to do. We share our dreams with people who don't understand them. We tell our goals to people who don't believe in them. And we announce our next moves to people who secretly hope we fail. Every time you open your mouth, you hand someone else the opportunity to water down your fire with their doubt. Silence and weakness, silence is strategy. Think about it. How many times have you been excited about an idea, told somebody close to you, and instead of encouragement, you got skepticism? They said it was impossible, unrealistic, or too big for you. And what happened? That seed of doubt got planted in your heart. You started second guessing yourself, slowing down, maybe even quitting before you got started. Not because you couldn't do it, but because you let the wrong voice in. That's why protecting your vision with silence is so powerful. If you keep it close, nobody can contaminate it. When you stay quiet, you give yourself the room to grow without pressure. You don't owe anyone explanations, timelines, or justifications. You're not working for their approval. You're working for your purpose. The less you speak on it, the more you can focus on executing it. Let your silence carry the weight of discipline. Let your progress speak in a language louder than words, because when the results show up, nobody can argue with them. You don't have to convince people of who you are. They'll see it. Silence also teaches patience. It forces you to trust the process rather than rush to show off something unfinished. Too many people expose their dreams in seed form and then get frustrated when the world doesn't clap for seed. You don't show off seeds. You nurture them until they grow into something undeniable. Silence is the soul that protects your dream while it's fragile. Without it, the dream never gets strong enough to survive. And let's be honest, some people don't want to see you win. They smile in your face, but deep down, they don't want you to grow past them. When you tell them everything, you give them the opportunity to plant distractions, discouragement, or even sabotage. But if you move in silence, there's nothing for them to grab onto. They can't attack what they don't see. They can't block what they don't. In 2025, you need a little bit behind closed doors. Stop announcing, stop broadcasting, stop needing validation. Put your head down, keep your circle small, and let your silence guard your vision. Because when it's time to reveal it, it won't just be talk, it'll be undeniable proof of your grind, your focus, and your belief. Silence isn't about hiding, it's about protecting. Protecting your dream, protecting your energy, protecting your future. Results speak louder than words, and that truth has never been more important than right now. Too many people spend their time talking about what they're going to do, promising the world what's coming, hyping up plans that never get executed. Words are cheap. Dreams get diluted when they stay in your mouth and never make it to your hands. You don't earn respect by talking about the grind. You earn by living it. You don't get remembered for what you said you were going to do. You get remembered for what you actually did. Every time you open your mouth and announce your next move, you create an expectation, but expectation without execution is just noise. Think about it. How many people do you know said they were going to start a business, get in shape, go back to school, change their life, and then never follow through? After a while, nobody takes them seriously because their results don't match their words. Don't let that be you in 2025. Let your results do all the speaking. Let the progress in your life be so loud it drowns out the need for explanations. When you commit to results over words, you shift your focus from performance for others to discipline for yourself. You don't need to convince people you're working hard when they can see the transformation with their own eyes. They notice the changes, the way you carry yourself, the skills you've built, the growth in your lifestyle without you ever saying a word. That's the kind of impact that lasts. Results are undeniable. People can argue with your words, question your motives, laugh at your dreams, but they cannot argue with proof. They cannot deny what's in front of their eyes. When you build something real, when you achieve something tangible, when you bring a vision into reality, it silences every critic. You don't have to clap back. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to debate. Your results will settle the argument. And the beauty of focusing on results is that it keeps you accountable. Words don't cost you anything, but results demand sacrifice. Results require discipline, long nights, early mornings, consistency, and commitment when nobody is watching. Results force you to face yourself, to stay locked in when motivation fades, to push through when excuses feel more comfortable. Talking can make you feel like you've done something when you haven't. Results remind you whether you've actually put in the work or not. So in 2025, stop wasting breath on promises. Stop trying to impress people with plans. Stop announcing things that aren't finished yet. Invest that energy into the grind. Pour it into execution. Focus on stacking results day after day until the work speaks for itself. Because when the results show up, they'll be louder than any speech, any caption, any post. Results are the true language of success, and once you master that language, you'll never have to explain yourself again. Invest in unseen preparation, because that's where the real transformation takes place. Everybody wants to shine under the lights, but not everybody wants to put in the hours in the dark. The world claps when you succeed, but they don't see the lonely nights, the sacrifices, the sweat that nobody celebrates. And that's the difference between people who dream and people who achieve. The achievers are willing to do the work when nobody is watching. The unseen preparation is what separates average from exceptional. Think about athletes. We only see them on game day scoring, winning, performing at the highest level. But what we don't see is the endless hours in the gym, the painful drills, the diets, the injuries they pushed through when the crowd wasn't there. That's what makes them great. The highlight reel is built on moments nobody recorded. And it's the same with your life. Your success in 2025 won't come from the big announcements. It will come from the unseen discipline, the choices you make when no one is checking on you, the work you put in when there's no recognition attached. The problem with most people is they only work hard when eyes are on them. They need an audience. They need validation. They need someone clapping. But the truth is, claps don't build consistency. Praise doesn't build progress. It's what you do in silence that creates momentum. It's the hours studying when your friends are out, the time training when others are sleeping, the sacrifices made when nobody knows your name. Those invisible investments are what compound a visible success later. Unseen preparation also builds character. When nobody's watching, you can cut corners, you can cheat the process, and nobody would know. But if you choose integrity in the dark, you develop the kind of strength that lasts when the pressure hits. When you discipline yourself to practice excellence when nobody's keeping score, you create a habit of greatness that follows you everywhere. That's why unseen preparation matters. It's not just about the outcome. It's about who you become in the process. And understand this, the stage will always expose the preparation. You can't fake what you didn't build in private. If you skip the grind, the results will reveal it. If you avoided the work, the cracks will show under pressure. But if you invested in yourself day after day, silently faithful, consistently, the stage will magnify your preparation and make it undeniable. Success isn't created in the spotlight, it's revealed there. So in 2025, don't chase applause, chase preparation. Don't look for attention, look for discipline. Don't brag about the work, do the work. Build in silence, grow in silence, sacrifice in silence. And when the time comes, your preparation will speak for you. People will look at your results and say, how did they do it? And the answer will always be the same. You did it in the dark, long before they were paying attention, separate from the noise, because not all noise is sound. Some of it is distraction dressed up as entertainment, validation, even love. The truth is noise pull your focus away from the things that really matter. The gossip, the opinions, the debates, the endless scrolling, the constant chatter, it all eats away at the time and energy you should be pouring into building your future. If you don't learn how to separate from it, you'll keep feeding on emptiness and wonder why you're not growing. Noise is dangerous because it feels good in the moment. It's comfortable to talk about what everybody else is doing, to stay caught up on the latest drama, to keep your mind busy with things that don't actually move your life forward. But comfort is a trap. Noise steals hours, days, even years from people who never realize how much time they've wasted until it's too late. Every time you give into the noise, you push your dream a little further away. Every time you let yourself get distracted, you delay the progress that could have been yours. The people who win in life are the ones who know how to block it out. They know how to cut ties with conversations that don't serve them, environments that don't grow them, and people only want to keep them stuck. They learn how to say no to invitations, how to silence notifications, how to turn down the volume of the world so they can tune into themselves. They understand that silence isn't loneliness. It's alignment. It's a space where you can hear your own thoughts, your own vision, your own purpose without being clouded by the chaos around you. And don't get it twisted. Noise isn't always negative. Sometimes the noise is praise, compliments, and tension. That can be just as dangerous. If you start believing the hype too early, you'll get complacent. You'll slow down because you think you've made it when you barely started. Noise can either tear you down or build you up falsely, but either way, it distracts you from the mission. That's why separation is so important. You can't afford to let outside voices control your inner drive. When you separate from the noise, you create clarity. You start seeing where your energy is going, what's been draining you, what you've been feeding that doesn't feed you back. And with that clarity comes focus. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter, and you start investing everything into the things that do. That shift alone can change the trajectory of your career, your entire life. In 25, make the choice to separate. Cut out the distractions. Limit the conversations that lead nowhere. Create boundaries with people who only want to keep you in cycles of gossip and negativity. Protect your peace like your future depends on it, because it does. The quieter your environment becomes, the louder your vision gets. And once you can see your vision clearly, nothing can stop you from bringing it to life.